Linden 31, Oxford 20. So take a look at your inbox.
Okay. Okay, so we'll carry that over pending the review. Thank you, Mr. Walton. 250417, request for consideration 18th Street revitalization project. Mr. Finn.
Yeah, that's supposed to be returned. They're set to be returned tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And I have not heard of it.
Have you?
Current situation changed.
Okay. Have we gotten bids?
I don't think we can get
Okay. So they're open. We're opening them in the morning at 9:30, right?
Oh, okay. I thought it was,
10. I have to look.
Okay.
10. Okay, 10 a.m. Okay. Got it. Okay. We'll carry that over pending the bid opening, and we hope we have bids. 160220, request for consideration for lighting for 700 block of Windsor Drive. Mr. Hamley asked that we carry this over. He didn't have the numbers for Alabama Power. And if between now and the next meeting, if we could just like find out how many lights, I didn't get any of that information. So. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well,
they're starting to move on the city-owned LED lights. They must have Tennessee now, they're downtown and all that. So you would just let me know because I'm on that Robert. That would be maybe when we get that scheduled in while we're doing these other ones as well.
I know that the request came from residents to have the acorn light. So, and that's been ready to say that it's part of that. I'll put it in.
Okay.
okay. So we'll carry that over without objection. 020320, request to authorize the mayor to sign contract with Centos for fleet uniforms. Mr. James had, I have not seen this, but it's a renewal of the current contract. Do you have anything additional on this, Mr. Burgett?
No, sir. I spoke with Mrs. Appleton. That contract we had last year, and it's just a 1 year extension without a price change.
No price increase, and this is budgeted within his budget. Okay. That was moved by Mr. Higginbotham, and then second by Mr. Thames. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. 5-0. That passes. 030320. Request to change a position in streets and sanitation from labor supervisor to permit coordinator. Come on up. You're the next contestant.
This is, as most of you know, Alan Ash, who's kind of been, Al works on any permit cuts and stuff. I think they have a lot now on a lot of stuff. But his old position was a labor supervisor, which is working without a class. So we asked the personnel board and talked with them. And it's basically, if you're not going to see it, Alan has moved up to public works supervisor with Barry Hill retired, and Jamie has moved over to Parks and Rec maintenance superintendent. So Chris Thacker is our new Alan Ash, but basically it's going from a 15-10 to I believe it's 16 out of 17, 17, 8. You won't see it for a while. It's going to be about 10% higher, but it'll be 6 or 7 years before it ever gets to that step. So, but it is a change in grade, so that you won't see them out until about 7 more years. They'll be like step 2. So it'll be a while now. But he does all the cuts in the streets and gets permits. And, we got several projects with over now that people didn't get permits.
We just have to have a resolution down to the personnel board.
Yeah.
So that we can have that before they shut the board. This is the internet on the personal maintenance.
Yeah.
Who's that out there?
And,
Okay. Mr. Kendrick, can you keep us honest here? The motion we need to create a new position, the permit coordinator. Is that the correct?
that's right.
Okay. So motion would be to create permit coordinator and amend the budget, which you have budget. I mean, you have.
I don't need budget.
Okay. You don't need any budget amendment. Okay.
We take the personnel board, so they'll let, we'll get full list, and that's great.
Okay,
There's no money to change it, actually be lower, because he'll start. Seven steps lower than what I did.
okay,
I've been here 30 years.
okay, so, I would entertain a motion that we would create the, permit coordinator position.
Create one coordinator.
Okay, moved by Mr. Thames,
Mr. Chairman, if I
second
may
by Mr.
qualify,
Higginbotham.
I'm disappointed there was no sort of PowerPoint presentation. Board,
Yeah, we're all struggling. We can't even keep the conference line open here, so we're doing our best. Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. That passes 5-0. 040320, request for consideration of potential bond repayment options. And this is brought to us from several people. We have really two options that we have looked at. One is our current provider, Steeple. We provided all this information this past week, and it was a huge document. But the other option is the Fraser O'Near Company. So we've discussed options with both of these, and I wanted to get Mr. Burgett to provide, I guess, do you have any thoughts on, or what was your experience with our current bond group, and kind of, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
We've done with people has been, the easy sequence they've been in and answered our questions. Really, once the bond is in place, we deal more with most of the banking people. And, anytime we've ever asked for them to investigate or asked for some type of documentation, they've had it back very quickly.
And, okay, and then basically we're talking about a refinance of current bonds, and we've been provided some, I guess some, really there's savings by refinancing, and they're anywhere between 5 million and 7 million. So it's a very lucrative time. I mean, the market's very unsettled, obviously, but warrants are bonds are just at the lowest rate that we've seen, and so we've got really information from both groups, and so that's kind of where we are. So, in my opinion, we need to decide who we want to utilize and move forward as soon as possible, so that we can, can market the bonds and move forward. But I know we have to go through the ratings process. We've done that with Steeple before, because I sat on a bunch of conference calls, and you did too, Mayor, and Mike, and everybody else. So I'll entertain any questions, or, I didn't really see that we were going to do like more of a, like massive presentations tonight or anything. We've been given the information, and I feel confident in either firm to kind of help us moving forward, but that's where we are, so.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I wasn't here when we did that bond. What I saw was 116 million. It seemed like, since I'm new, I don't understand a lot of things. I thought our original bond was 110. I didn't quite understand. Something I saw was going to put it 116 million that we were refinancing. So that's a little confusing to me. I'm sure we'll take some of that down. And I may be wrong on that number. I don't remember where I saw that. One of the comes from stuff in Fraser O'Near. So, in looking at all the stuff that people gave us, and they've born a group out of Montgomery that has been around forever, called Merchant Capital, who the really Fraser O'Near is out of Montgomery. Those two guys fought each other for years over this business. But people doesn't talk about what they're going to be paid with in these letters. I didn't see. Again, they send very complicated, long stuff in there with a long, complicated letter. Fraser O'Near was very clear about what they were making out of it, which was 0.045%. So I'm not sure, but I'd love to know kind of what they're going to pay. I'm not complaining about it, I'd love to know that answer. you know, we're going from non-taxable to taxable bonds.
Correct.
And I don't know if that affects it, it really affects how you sell them, I think. If you're selling a taxable bond, which usually they sell well, non-taxable, but, so how, in the past, when we made this decision, how did we make this decision? Did we make it on experience? Did we make it on, who gave us the better deal? When we went down this road in the past, why didn't we choose these guys, people,
And there were other people that can comment on it. It was really a vetting. We looked at, I believe at that time we looked at 3 or 4 different options, and the presentation that Steeple made really was just one of experience and the ability to sell the bonds nationwide, and their network was really the largest, most extensive, and they had worked with the city before, so they had experience. In the past, we have utilized different firms as to get part of the deal. You know, we were at one time, I think we had 3 or 4 that were all part of one group, and what we noticed is that Steeple, that group they were doing most of the work. They were doing almost all the work, and so it's really just been one that we've just been comfortable with them. But during the vetting process, they came out on top in terms of the options. Mayor, do you have anything to add to that?
Sure, I agree with you. Hard enough, I agree with what the paying for, but I think what's even more important is the result of the sale.
And they're clearly a nationwide group.
Well, they are, and have proved track record. I'm selfishly, because I'm on the call, talking with the bank, talking with our credit rating. I like the way they compare it and practice. So when we do get on that call, I'm not going to say it's easy, but I'm not surprised by that. And they do these all the time. So I prefer people, whatever council chooses to do, is what we're going to go with, but I think it's exactly right from our experience in the past. They've always come through. That's another thing I like about them. They tend to under promise and over deliver. Services like that. I think another thing Mike said, not only because we need somebody that has the ability to take these to the market and sell them, but we also need somebody who is back. I think that's big part of it.
There's actually 2 bonds that possibly may be called. It depends on what the market is. They put some of the 2012 one and the 2015 one. Yeah. The original,
About 2017 also. That was.
we don't have to
We
say.
don't have to.
The original 2015 was $139 million, so we're looking at about $160.
The original bond was 139, not 110.
$139 million.
Both.
No, 2016 on. 2012. I'm reading information on it. But there is a potential of 2 refundings, and these are specifically positioning, you might want to consider funding portions of it. But those are all things that you can get guidance to help you decide who would use to help come back to the council, to the mayor, and to make decisions about how to go based on certain conditions that you get closer to the funding. Process simply is you authorize them to act on how they have, to prepare proposals, to give the rating agency approval, have to add analysis. I don't expect already some of the evening this might be better possibly. Then they'll come back with you with a proposal about really what makes sense to do.
And this is time sensitive due to the fact that we need to capitalize on the,
You wanna have somebody ready
Ready to go.
No,
right,
in the market, you can get that,
Right.
all that, get this will be tomorrow, next week, or 6 weeks from now, but
we need to be ready to go when it is.
the challenge is choose someone who can start the work and have, so that we
Say anything?
time to do full trip.
The bond is low about
No, we're still deliberating here.
That's a pretty long time.
Well, but we can, I guess we can find out, obviously, Robert, I don't know if you know what the schedule is with Steeple, but we can get that. I guess their rates will be based on what part is refinanced, I would assume.
They will come back and do a definite proposal. These are
Yeah,
a good guesstimate, but most of them, I don't think it's a guesstimate. But they're snapshots of a particular day of what the market looks like. It changes every day, so as we get closer, then you can make decisions about whether it's feasible to finance all 12, or some of them, or all the 16, or some of them, based on what the market is at that time.
Are we thinking we're gonna save the money on something, regular bond?
Yeah, but that's the thing you can decide as you get closer to the line.
What we're gonna do is cut back our damage, I'll say, or take it cash.
there are all kinds of options, and I think it's really a good problem to have, but we really haven't really determined what we were going to do. I mean, I've read about other groups that need immediate cash for projects, and they put it into that. Others,
You can do portions of it.
you can do,
Some of them do that, some you can't. Those are all things that you will decide as you get closer to it.
It really is a separate decision.
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, exactly. So that's kind of, where we are, and then,
Better information.
yeah,
If you make it.
okay.
So the issue is, we want someone who can actually sell these, which is always a big issue.
Yes.
Are we triple B rated, is that what we are?
No, really.
Hey, we're double A rated with Standard and Poor's and Moody's. I think we're A+ or something. I've got a AA+.
We'll get that license.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Any other questions, or is there a motion to?
Walter?
Yes.
Walter, this is Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can. Let me turn you up here.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to echo for Stiefel as well. I do believe, looking at the materials, they were a little bit superior on the materials, but more importantly to me is, and I think I'm repeating everything that's been said, but I just wanted to state it publicly that they've done such a good job with our bonds in the past, and the success of the previous bond project, is really has really just had a wonderful proven track record. It worked well then, and we got another opportunity with a good company to make it work well again and to really save the city some money. And so I'm just very comfortable with a company that has a proven track record and the success of our previous bond projects with them. So I just want to make sure I've stated that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Okay. So the proper motion would be to authorize blank to act on our behalf for the refinancing of the bonds, and we could say 2012, 2016, or just look at all of our current bonds and provide recommendations and move forward with that project.
That's good. In my research about this, I know the volatility on the market right now is where it's really being flooded.
selling, I don't know the answer to that question, I'm just, not in my mind.
Well, I think you stick with one. With all of it, but there's a time frame, you know, the stock market drops and then kind of comes back up.
This is when the market, stock market is buying the better. Right. But right now, it's inverse.
Yeah.
Because of all the issues going on in our economy. Hopefully, months from now, 30 days, 6 weeks, whenever we get to be ready.
Normal.
More stable. It's not really more we can do. We'll wait for it to make proven sense to do it or not do it at all. Then that trigger will be determined by the council.
Is there any cost associated with engaging right now? No. Okay.
No.
Let's get,
Yeah.
I think there's several $1 million potential swing just last week from when we originally received the proposal.
we went up to $9 million, 19, down to $8 million. It's still a substantial savings. But
Substantial.
12 of them, they were all stabilized, hopefully. Well, we won't be here.
And one of the things that I saw is we don't expect it to spin it out further, so that's a good thing.
It's not in term thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Just take out savings, we do it. But the difference in interest rate of 2012, 2015 versus available today.
I'll make a motion that we gave people to work with us on refinancing our bond.
Okay, moved by Mr. Harden, second by Mr. Thames. Any other questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed by the same sign. That's 5-0.
Doug, can I tell you what the next step will be?
Yes.
It will present to you what's called a parameter resolution, which will set out the parameters of which is minimum savings, those kind of things, maximum interest rate that we will then consider, but it will give a roadmap of putting parameters on what they can do. Will be obligated to do before the council will authorize the bond as well. So that's the next step. Whenever you meet next, we will be presenting with people that we recommend them come up with that resolution.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, Mr. Pugh, come on down. 050320. Consideration of reimbursement for pump rental property repair cost, flooding at 2832 Linden.
All right, in the absence of the ability to screen there, I'll forward you all by way of email.
Yeah. No, they're not.
I've got screenshots on mine.
Okay.
Okay, I can describe it. I mean,
Okay.
aren't you're looking at the subject property and the grade is lower in the middle, pretty much on the corner of the property than the outlying area. So if you fix it, all the water is going to continue to come into that central area, right?
That's correct. This is the contour map from Jefferson County, and it shows the elevation. I'm totally sympathetic to this football situation. I hate water problems myself. If you do reimburse it the money, and we do move forward and make the repairs to the drains, because there are some repairs to the drains that we found as well. I should make this clear, that we're going to move forward there. The drains were blocked off, about a block away. The drains were blocked off, maybe some years ago, it's not been in time since we were here, so. But the contour map shows that nearly the center of the backyard of the caveat and coffee property is a low spot. It's a funnel. The alley is higher, the street on the side is higher, everything's higher, just goes to the center. But even if we do when we do fix the drain, we're still gonna have, I can't promise, I should say, that this is never gonna happen again. And the other, picture that I mentioned is simply a screenshot of an article I saw earlier this week that said, according to the National Weather Service, January and February of this year, are the wettest 2 months in Birmingham history since records have been kept starting in 1895. So,
Wow.
if that scenario happens again, even with the drain repair, I don't know how you can the weather that would not create a flood situation next.
Yes. You have,
Nothing in regards to this, I apologize. I need to, I got one more conference call. I need to take it.
okay.
Later on this evening, I will send y'all an update on our plan. Going forward.
Okay.
Met those mountain areas many days, has 3 well, 6 o'clock, and I'll be in touch with y'all.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Did you have a comment?
Mr. Westfall, here,
Okay,
his property.
okay, but I just want to make sure, so this work has already been done and they're looking for reimbursement, is that?
Yes, sir.
He's looking.
Mr. Westfall, he had a flooded out area, caveat coffee, his work to clear out, he got it in the basement area, his work. He's also been renting a cell phone, big phone. So when it rains heavy, he can pump the water out, get it to the street, and get into a different rain.
Okay, I'll stay up here. Go ahead, Mr. Westfall.
Second with that, this is a call that you hear it all, talking about. I happen to disagree with this current explanation. Here's why.
Okay.
I didn't think I was going to explain it, so I guess I'll go. These guys have been great friends, we got the problem, and we figured it out. So there is a storm sewer, in the alley between Linden and Crescent. So we have, we get close to Crescent, Linden, alley between the Green Street.
Okay.
You don't know what that is? This is caveat. There is a storm sewer that's collapsed. It's been collapsed for about 20 years. It normally runs between these 2 properties and dumps into Crescent. All the water from this alley and Linden comes through this drain, because we got a truck to bring a video, and out there they did it. They watched those videos. So it only comes here, and comes into this drain, and then goes this way to a drain that can be stopped. But at some point, as this drain collapsed, and so a wall was constructed underground. This is a 4-foot drain. We're talking a swimming pool size barn water. A wall is built here and another one here. Well, there's not, but by the city. Property owner common sewers, 2 concrete block sewers. And so now all the water comes from here and here. Trying to get in the drain, I've got videos, it's really obvious. So during the middle of the storm, I walk back, I open up a manhole, and the water's sitting still. I'm like, that's not normal. Water's running, rain. And yes, our property is flooded. This property was flooded for 20 years because of this problem. I talked to the previous owner and said, oh yeah, it rains multiple days in a row, it's flooded. It's not a matter of a conduit problem. What's happening is, all this water, whatever diagram, picture a swimming pool or half swimming pool size volume underground in the alley behind my property. I'm the last input into that swimming pool. Everybody upstream putting into it, I'm the last one to put into it. When that swimming pool gets full, this other water is still coming in, so it looks for its first out, because again, there's been a brick wall put in place. It can't go as much fast. So it comes out of the sewer pipe in my backyard from the city storm sewer into my yard. It's not water coming from the land.
rented a sump pump, 380 gallons a minute, and pumped out that sewer drain. And then during this last rain, we've had the most rain we've ever had the last month. I haven't had any trouble. Because I've been waking up at 3 in the morning and thought, your sewer, not my yard. My pump is in your sewer. My yard doesn't even come close. I've got this heavy rain, not even coming close to getting close. So I know it's installed when they fix the sewer pipe. I guarantee it will, because I've been feeding the sewer, the sanitary, stormwater sewer for the last month. I've been waking up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Rain doesn't always come during the day. Anytime it rains heavy, I'm out there because we have a lot of rain. When that sewer is clear, I have absolutely zero issues wrong in my yard. So it's not a constant problem, it's a sewer problem. Now I'm gonna ask you before you go back and pay 20 years worth of flooding to the property owner's home, or even my property for the last 3 years when I've called and said it's flooded. All I'm asking you to do is pay for the last time it's flooded. When I found out what the problem was, and now the city's gone and found someone to do it, I still have it up there now because they don't have the definition of the fine. So I am pumping water still. The meter's running. That's $900 a month. It's a big deal. If they get it fixed, I won't have to do it. I'll leave it alone, and everything's going to be solved. I've got plenty of videos to show you, fan videos. The problem is the sewer block. It hasn't been for 20 years. No one's really, the other property before me, I said, same thing as city. They were rented. He said, they didn't use the basement much. He said, we didn't figure it out. And it is a little confusing because here's when we really figured it out. A heavy rain, if it hadn't rained in a month, that swimming pool slowly seeps out. So that volume underneath there will go away. So it can rain really hard and not flood because it's filling up the pool. But as soon as the pool is full, it can be a sliver. And the dog will flood it in and out. And we're talking a foot and a half. We're not talking about not raining. We're talking about a foot and a half in the basement, uphill from my drain ditch. I used the environmental guys, they were there on that, and said, it is not your dog, it is that sewer. And that's when I started, that's when I pulled the manhole up here, I said, oh, sitting there full. So I'm asking you to reimburse us just for the last flood repair and the ongoing payment of the pump that I have in your storm sewer because it's not working properly.
And what is that total cost?
Well, it's running, so if we can't get it fixed before tomorrow, then we can. My first month's up on the pump, I guess, so that would be about $6,000 total. For my repairs, 2 months worth of pump, my hours, I'll take my hours out. I'll do in $500 just for my inconvenience, so I'll take that away, so we'll take $500 if you want. But I paid out of pocket $6,000 down to next month, so as soon as we get it fixed a month. And these guys are great at bird dogging it. They got the cities come out and jet wash it. That didn't work because their quality went out. They got the sewer camera out there, found it, and they're working on trying to take care of it. So I appreciate all the help it's done. We're having a disagree on the backyard thing. So and I think that will y'all. That's where we are.
So what's the timeline on the repairs? On the repairs, the correction?
I had a contractor out there last week and again today, and figured it'd probably get on next week. This rain got everybody screwed up. I've been trying to survey it, and I got a little break today and got my wife and another half of the survey crew. They went over there, shot some grades, and when you walk through the wooden gate, that ground is 6 inches higher than the floor elevation. But the drain you refer to is 6 inches lower than that. So there must be a little time spot in there somewhere. I'll have a full profile on this thing. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, give me a window to go out there and do a full profile on before you do your engineering call. Okay. But I just had my wife help me today. I follow windows, so I grabbed the survey level and ran out there and shot. I shot the manholes. I shot the floor elevation. I shot the walkway and the manhole out the street. All right. He referring to the alley where the pipe comes. Somebody blocked up. I did not understand it. Why I don't know about it. Because they told me that one lady was in here. Well, Lee and Boston and I both been here and said for 20 years. about 140 feet high. But today, when I was looking at it again, they said, well, maybe we can take it straight down, not down to where it is now, but go up and leave that alone. Go out into, Reed Street. And if I do that, that's only, 101 feet. So you see, it's all that.
If you currently take the hard right off the alley and do it between two properties with Crescent, and you're probably taking that just to reach right here.
Yes. If we do that, you got a cost savings in that, 40 foot shorter on pipe and, asphalt too, but, pipe and asphalt, stone all go together.
And you're getting off private property. So it's like a drain through private property.
Exactly. I don't want to go down that property. Even though the guys, they're very, very nice people, they get, signed easement, notarized everything. I still don't want to get a private property because there's too many little things that get you where you do. I mean, we got trees, we can, all one thing other. So we're working that out today to see what I can make it for on, going to Reed Street. So,
Can somebody summarize this for me? Can somebody summarize, I don't know what.
I got two options.
Okay, so, but hold on a second, higher. So do you need to do more due diligence before you can come back with a recommendation?
I'll be back there Monday night with the final answer.
Okay,
That is on the correction. What we're actually talking about is the reimbursement.
Right.
okay.
I'm just trying to get it where we're going. I know we're going to have this thing fixed quick.
Okay.
And then, because the longer it takes to repair, the more money it's going to
Okay, so, but is it,
I'm gonna put on our end from public works side up until now, until the renovations were done, so the public works has never been called to come out and do anything. We've never, Lee and I both spoke with Jamie, and Lee both, Jamie's been there 26 years. I know everybody wants to blame that topic. I can get Shaka to work there a couple of years. I'm not blaming you, I'm telling you, we've never, it's because they didn't call. I called her, she said they never called. Yeah. It really wasn't happening.
Okay.
And backing out, we had years. Yeah.
okay, so what is the position from our department in terms of this reimbursement? Is there a position, or do we need more information? I mean,
I'll have a little more survey work, because I did shoot that today. What about this doesn't make sense? I'm pumping it out to 5 feet below
okay,
my land.
hold on a second.
It's not happening anymore, and I'm pumping it out of the sewer. How can it possibly be the contour of my land? I do not. And for some reason this is in finance, but in any event, I am not, I mean, I what you said sounded really logical, but I still, from the city's standpoint, we've never been called out in 26 years, whatever, and you told me the reason, but we need to, I think the finance committee, we need to know if what the position is from our department. Yes, Mr. Watt.
So, we've been operating a lot of years. Why on earth would anybody in the city ever gone out and passed underground at the top, where it was the top?
I can't imagine that again.
If
somebody did, I'm not clear.
When you went out there and assessed the situation, you would propose building a wall.
No.
When we first started,
It's never going to retention. The retention itself will never dissipate, essentially, unless it's a draft off.
So it's not happening.
It's not, I saw that jerk with a cement truck clean to shoot out and cement hard.
when we saw the image from the camera, I turned to Greg and I said, can you imagine any situation ever, at any time, someone would go to do that? And he said, absolutely not.
So someone had to go down into a sewer and build a wall.
Two of them.
With all the walls we need to build.
Were they, I understand it's ridiculous to do that, but can you see, like, were they redirecting the water somewhere?
No. What happened, when he called, I started trying to, I got through, Sam called them, y'all go get this thing out. And they went and cleaned out all the lines, and their jetter went in there so far, bam, stopped.
so we call video production, so they have a camera. And so, you know, it takes time, you can't call video production, we see them tomorrow. So anyway, they come out there and put a camera in there, and there's a cinder block wall, just like you build a house, inside a 48-inch pipe. On both ends. Now you go in on one end about 3 or 4 feet on the downhill end, and it's there. And the other one you have to go in, what is it, 10, 12 feet? And it's a nice looking wall too. I think whoever did it. Well, but it's not done by that.
Okay, so again, can we, yeah, I mean, do we need to can we act on this tonight, positive or negatively, or do we need?
I'm moving forward with small infrastructure money on repairs. I'm moving just as fast as I can go.
But we need.
But,
And the reason I said I did some survey is just that's the way my mind works. I gotta know what's going on. So I got me some shots, and I thought, first time I looked at that, look at the tire out here where the parked car and the bid there, that's 5 on. So I got survey level, it's 6 inches different. I turned around and shot his pipe, and it's 6 inches lower than the floor. So,
Meaning it should exit.
it should, unless there's some high ground in between, that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
My point is, you don't have to do that, because
Nobody will.
when we talk to the sewer, the yard drains, there's your answer. The water drain, when I talk, it's gone.
It all
drains in and out.
doesn't stay back there on the.
No, it's gone.
Okay.
It drains. It drains like a champ.
Mr. Chairman.
yes,
Sharon to the same question, and so procedurally, whatever vote, like, I'm on the city, I think we, when we take this call now, how do we move forward, if you all in the committee could do that? I mean, I'm concerned about hitting it, so the council, at what point do we vote as council to revote that?
whenever we meet, I mean.
That's why I'm saying more, I mean, I'm concerned.
So if we, well, here are the two options.
And I'm
We-
not the vote. I mean, I just wanted
Okay,
to be under roll. I wanted to wait till they're, do the pipe. I just didn't want, I'm out there doing the city, spending money that I think they're gonna reimburse it for. I just wanna let y'all know. And, you know,
Okay.
I'm not in that big a rush, but I think it's an important process. Y'all think it's cool, okay, we
I'm
just
just
knock
worried
out,
about
we're gonna knock out the wall.
That's pretty cool too. Well, no, here's what doesn't make any sense. They said it's flat. Then how come the truck's sitting there on top of it?
You can see a dip. You can see a dip, but they still live like this, the driveway.
No, I had one around good under my pole wall.
You know what I'm saying?
And so they knocked pole wall with the camera in the wall. And you can see down that thing, I'm just confused. That's what's wrong with it. But somebody built a bridge over the top of it, concrete or something. Because we're driving a truck across the top of it.
There's a driveway from one end of the property to the other over the top, and there's a dip in the driveway over the back of the top of it. Yeah, we don't have to do that.
I mean, I thought that was true. I don't know, I learned.
okay, hold on. Okay, Mr. Higginbotham has a question.
I think we all understand what's happened and why, but we understand what's happened. Mr. Westphal, what I understood, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so tell me if this is not accurate. You said that you're not in a hurry to get paid. You obviously feel you are justified being reimbursed, so you're not in a hurry to get that. Does it make sense for us to wait till the project's done so we know exactly how much money you spent out of pocket rather than prospectively giving him money for something that we don't know yet? So we may not wait another day.
He's already spent the money, the only additional.
He's giving us a continual number for the next month, am I not correct?
Yeah.
Tell the
He
pump
knows
goes
how much-
away.
yeah,
If we want to get rid of his pump and we go put our own pump in there, we should, something we certainly could do.
You don't have money to look at. I don't mind doing that. I do not mind managing on for another one. As long as these guys are taking care of the problem, I have full confidence in my yard number.
Okay, okay,
So I'm happy.
okay, so,
Yeah, no.
Good. Okay, well-
I'll show you the numbers, I mean, that'd be,
I want to make sure it's like what I call something, we're reimbursing obviously the pump, that's clear to me. I know you spent money fixing things after it flooded.
so I had to get the barrel coat to come in and, you know, they take all the baseboards off, blow the fan, all that stuff. And so that was, the cleaning up was $37.50. So we're not done that way before, you said it flooded before, so it was already been. I'm not asking about that and pay for every time, I'm just asking the last time. I can go back and pay for all of them. I'm a nice man. Just asking go, we can, and we did have more records time, we hired them, so I'm just asking for the last, because we already been talking about it, and I feel like someone should have to go lift up a manhole and see what it's on. Okay, now, I figured out the problem about the filling my manhole, but it wasn't that hard. So, I'm just asking for the last time, Digby Burns, fucking call. And I'm not gonna, stomp my feet, get on my dirt, but I think it's, a lot of work. And I know you got stuff, you got big stuff on, I'm not complaining, just reasonable, so.
Yeah, but I still don't have a clear understanding of if this is our obligation. I mean,
Your sewer is blocked.
I
They're solving all the other property waters that come on my land. Now, I don't understand what you don't understand about that.
well, the part I don't understand is that we didn't put the wall in, so that's.
Somebody put it in our time.
Okay, well, I'm just, no,
I mean, there is a wall there. There are two walls.
Yeah.
right,
I can't argue, but it's.
okay,
It's in yours.
okay.
I'll. You're the last. I didn't understand. Forget the jury appearance, I'm not a business guy.
I'll say that I came in with an opinion, but hearing the description of the call, the proceeding call, I do feel like the city, bears responsibility to make them home.
So your motion to expend up to 6,000 from
Yeah.
small infrastructure to,
That's fine.
for reimbursement,
And I
not
would,
to exceed 6,000.
and I would,
So we're gonna take that, we're gonna get our.
yeah, we'll get a pump in there for you, so that you don't have to keep doing it.
Well,
If it takes that long, which it's not going to. We can get one, I promise you. We have, but I would second that. I would second Brett's motion.
how much is
Second.
the cost per month?
$900.
Or 900 a month, and honestly, it's about the same price.
And you said you're on the hook for that starting tomorrow again for another month?
Yes.
Is it something we can,
And that's in the 6,000.
that part we can address right now?
900 a month.
That's in the 6,000.
That's in the 6,000. I've got you covered for next month. Get 6 a month, you're done. I'm trying to make you.
I would
And
second
not get
Brett's
billed
motion.
for it another month.
Okay, okay. Well, any other comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to make clear, that I hope that the repair of the maintenance drain is completely. I just wanted to point out that if for some reason this happens again after we make these repairs, based on the contour along Mountain Road and what the county has reported, and based on the string rain event, I just want to point out that if it happens again, I can't 100% guarantee it. Just based on
The contour, I mean, it's all going, coming into, okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, by the same sign.
Can I ask one question?
Yes,
We're gonna reimburse them up to actual expenses, not to $6,000.
correct. Yeah, 5-0.
Does that include in making it money? I don't know how to do that.
That's inside the pipe. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But somebody's, it's got to have, I mean, they're parking cars on top of this thing, so it can't be collapsed.
Okay.
All right.
I don't understand it.
It's fine.
Okay, we're way over. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. 060320, request to consider expenditures from E911 Court Corrections for Public Safety Construction. Mr. Burgett, you were talking about this earlier. This is, would be $350,000 for each fund.
Yes, it'd be $350,000 from E911 fund and $350,000 for the correction fund, that is transferred to the fund for the bond.
Okay, any questions?
We thank y'all for this.
Yes.
We appreciate it greatly. All for
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Mr. Higginbotham. We have a second from
Second.
Mrs. Smith. Higginbotham and Smith. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed by the same sign. 5-0, that passes. 070320, request to consider increased expenditure for recycling expense due to increased billing for number of houses serviced. Mr. Burgett informs me that they have done, as part of the contract, they can do like a survey of how many households that they're servicing, and have found 512 additional households that are now serviced under the contract. I don't know how that's possible, but
Can I ask you something? So where did they find 500 houses? Are we sure that these houses are actually in the city limits of
Yes,
Homewood?
she gave me the list of all the houses, the addresses. I checked it against our existing inventory list they have. These are not on the existing list. I also gave them to Anna Smith, our GSI coordinator, and she ran all the addresses. They're all in Homewood, and there are no commercial properties. And based on their contract, they can go in and do an audit, and they can charge us for the additional houses that they're collecting these sites.
Are they going to be delivering, because I'm assuming these
Yes.
people don't have bins.
They're going to
either.
deliver containers to all the houses. Some of them do not. There were some, she gave me a list of houses that did not have service at this time, not a great amount, but there were some. She mentioned some properties that were recently annexed on Shadescrest, I believe, that did not have service. But it is a contract based on the number of houses that they service. And it's no cost. That's what I remember in my conversation.
Oh, the new list matches.
so you're saying they missed 512 houses.
There's a lot up there, Mike and I are there that don't get that.
All right, so the amendment would be $7,272
Yes, sir.
to finish out the fiscal year.
For the next 6 months remaining in the fiscal year.
$272.
That's for a year.
No, that's for 6 months. It's gonna be additional. So the additional amount that would be in next year's budget will be, what, 14,547?
Yes, sir, 14,547.
Next year. Yeah. Yes.
I would like to make an observation. In as much as the contract may say that they can audit the houses, and change that at any time, contract also says delegation educational activities on behalf of the city. And I would love to see the details, what they've done in terms of educational activities on behalf of the city.
That contract will do it in January of 2021.
I will tell you that our contamination rate has stayed exactly the same. No improvement every year, effort that we've made as council to do as big contracts.
We don't get anybody to know their town.
We have that from Birmingham to Second Recovery.
Well, as Chairman, also to be fair, I should share, this has been a discussion we've been having, but the HEC's been having, and I was their liaison and staff with the discussion, and it's my expectation that, well, I don't know now, but before COVID-19, we were going to be bringing an item to one of the committees to make a list of requests, educational activities we believe they should be doing. I don't know what'll happen now, but that still may be forthcoming in the future.
I'll just say, every time, I mean, we're like a broken record. Every time that we've requested it, we really haven't gotten much of a response. So we can keep requesting it, but I mean, it is what it is. So
We fill it out and decide to go out to bid.
We need to articulate that.
Yeah, we have to have, hey, you don't do it this month, we're not paying. That is all that fine.
good.
Problem is, the last time we did it, we had no.
There were no other options. That was the issue.
We would have used it because they were home.
For modeling.
The
nobody else.
It's all. Depends on it, but the last one,
It was really not a good,
it was so good,
they were so bitter.
I believe.
All right, okay, so the, and request, educational information, additional educational information. No, I thought it was in there. Okay, so moved by Mr. Thames, it would be seconded by, who's it seconded by?
Oh, second.
Okay. Seconded by Mrs. Smith. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed by the same sign. 5-0, that passes. And this is one of the longest meetings we've ever had.
Woo!
So I apologize for my wrong estimate. But we're now adjourned, and so we're gonna move into our next. Is everybody still awake there on the phone? Hello?
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, still here. Walter, I think you're an hour and a half over.
Yeah, I know, I am. Thank you. Leave it up to Peter. It's still throwing out. You know, if the president of the council had sent that last item to Public Works, it would say 30 minutes. But I'm not gonna say that.
I heard that.
Here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I make a motion that we suspend the reading. All right, old business, that 080719, request to consider it changes for instruction installation, will carry over this item. 18, 11, 19, request to consider it parking in the RFI, which is kept on the agenda to track with the items of time pending approval, will carry this item over as well. 01, 02, 20, request for update on green screen and revitalization project. Or, and then to add.
We are getting ready. We had the last public input meeting, and we only had 4 people show up. 2 of those were making the first public input meeting. And I think, after talking to Carl today, we should be ready, I think, for Patrick, you and, and Patrick, good, and then send out the council to sign, and then the comments that we'll receive in public session. And then discussion, council on the whole, and that will work. What form I deal, go over, some of those issues that, with them. I haven't heard from anybody else as far as business owners, that's why we talked to several, we talked to Homewood, we talked to all of you. And, other than that, somebody else, that's pretty positive about, so I think that's what we're going to move forward with the council as a whole.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I also had a phone conversation with a business, one of the gas stations over there. They had it incorrect on their date, so they actually showed up here on Wednesday to come to the meeting. But he called me the very next day and said, hey, just wanted to get up there and ask some questions in regards. So I've got a couple of things that he had asked about that I'll need to cover with.
If we can get them to far, but they're compiling.
Okay.
That way all of you can see what was discussed. What was discussed and asked.
Okay, they're having trouble hearing you, so I just
What
wanted
we'll
to.
do is, once we get it, he sends it to Clark.
Okay.
Is let him and Liz compile and everything that's written down, emails we've got into a list for the whole council as a whole review.
Okay.
And see on that, and we can kind of go from there. If you guys want to address some of them, Clark then will be there. Okay. Talk about them, and then we'll be at that time. It's up to you guys, and we're ready to go.
Okay, well, I'll draft the question on 30 melody.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But I think at this point in time, when we're ready to put them out there, and let the council as a whole start reviewing it. Okay. And see any questions or concerns we've had, if they've got any, things sent to you or Andy or myself, they can put them in there for the public record part of it. So. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Squire, for sending this meeting, engaging the public. I appreciate that. Moving on to 120220, request for consideration to option to address flooding on Virginia Drive. Then we'll carry the guy over the our individual update on Grinder.
No, I have emailed, Dr. Abbott, copied, Bishop Hammond, no reply, so the second email was for text and Steve said, hey, can you chime in on the email and make sure someone will reply, and, he's not. So, now they are busy, so I am going to try again this week, but I'm sure that this is going on, but I will do my best. I will say that I talked to Ms. Robertson last week, and he's been flooding with all that sort of, going a lot of rain in the last several weeks, that he's not having any issues, of late.
That's after,
That's right.
Is that gonna be an ongoing thing? Yeah, they said last time they the only thing they had, actually, that was left was the rebar, that's in the pipe that they had, now after that, they cleaned it out, and they needed something out, I believe.
Did you have anything ready for the
I'm gonna send mine to Ruben, because they're small, he told me straight up, like, 9 months is fast before they could put a crew by there, so I'm gonna give a Greg, and I'm gonna send a couple of my crews over there and just get on the line up there and clean out, see what they can. Greg, a little bit about into there, all that stuff, that they cleaned out, storm drain and all that, so I think at this point in time, that's gonna be just get on there and let's get on there right away up there and build them and clean it out, set down that map, I can see and put all that up there.
He has not had any flooding since he was
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, when the water's not holding in that storm drain inlet anymore, it's like, before they cleaned it out, so, I noticed it when the last two heavy rains we went over there, it was flowing pretty nice, too.
They're getting the rebar out 9 months out also, that's enough.
I say that's way down the line. Is that something you guys could do, or no?
That's the frequent thing, frequent cleaning, I'll put it through, the frequent cleanings that y'all are performing, for Aldott, help push through.
I mean, Kenny said the clean is like the city, I know, the way it's clean out, so all we're just keeping an eye on it, okay, and all, but I mean, they're gonna have to go in, they're gonna have to work on the road as well, because it came down through the pipe. So they're gonna cut the pipe so they can patch it. So, somebody did that good.
Look at it go to all of them.
Yeah, how about that?
Who knows?
Everything's happening. All right, under new business, 080320, request for permission to work in the right of way, in the city right of way, in several locations, placing power poles for small cellular service antennas. Mr. Cobb.
Yes, sir. I would actually carry it over because, they didn't show up. And I've not heard from them today, but,
Regularly, we have a shot from, we have a SCP right now.
yes, sir.
Response to the timeline.
Well, I put it on there today, that he gave it to us, there's no hesitation on that, maybe it's make a mistake. But, I'll find out what happened to them, make sure that your next meeting is doing the book. It's just, small cell towers, but, Rick from, I've got a business card up here, I can't remember what last name is now, what, he's been here several times, got it. I'll be thinking that.
Under the SCP regulation, we have to approve it or deny it in a certain amount of time. We have to have a legitimate, specific reason to deny it.
Yes, sir.
Probably that comes up fast.
No, he just gave it to me, don't we have, 90 days?
When you guys tell me the application, you put 10 days.
And he gave me the application, last week. I mean, he told me about this, I put it on the agenda, the application didn't get the bid for last week.
timelines for us. We will.
Okay, thank you. First, who is the provider for the apple?
Oh, so it's not Crown Castle, right, there it is.
Right. Secondarily, we did a location for this whole. I was on the bid, so we get a copy of that with one review before.
I can just, if I give it to Melody, can she both email everybody?
Yeah. I'm gonna just carry this over to my next week. Well, my next question was, Mr. Kendrick, procedurally, should we drop it? It goes to six.
No, you can't drop it.
Or go to, should we put it down?
Well, showing up, for prerequisites, you have to do.
Approve or deny.
Yeah.
To make sure we're not able to. Oh, you better.
When I go up there and get all the stuff off the jet,
Carry over, 0302, 080302. And we'll adjourn public work. I'm trying to make it time.
our contribution statement.
You know what?
And my contribution to the city will be taken.
Mr. Wilkerson? Mr. Jones?
Oh, okay, and we're now moving to the, planning and development meeting. Brian, if you're still there. Here.
Mr. Wyatt is here on the, here. All right, we have a report.
Okay, we had minutes from the last meeting passed out, I think, I most of this reading included.
Second.
First by Mr. Andrews, second by Wilson, all in favor?
Aye.
Zero. All right. Carry 160115, carry that over. 300619, carry that over. 230919, carry that over. 250417, and carry over to that. Or 200220, although I was not able to attend the last meeting, I understand we're still working that upon those projects. Call the meeting tonight to discuss 120320, although I don't see the applicant here. Assuming we'll be, well, before the public hearing, I don't know.
We'll probably meet, maybe virtually.
Well, the reason I asked would it take proof to maybe we send these out pending a public hearing without recommendation anyway, maybe just let it send it out in our meeting schedule.
Good, the chair out 106, we'll have to see out, our normal committee meeting, and then I'll have to take that.
Well, as everybody recalls, this is the kind of diocese, they came asking for some right of way, yet we done the properties that require central way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Mr. Chairman. I would move that we, send it out without recommendation pending the public hearing on the 13th.
Second.
All right, first by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Anderson, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. Done.
Okay, we're finished with that one, Brian. So what's, public safety is next. Here.
Here. Here.
Okay, thanks. The minutes were passed out, may I get a motion for dispense of reading and approval? From, Mr. Thames, second by Ms. Ennis, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All vote by the same sign, that carries 5-4-0, thank you. Old business 150120, request for consideration of a turn, signal / light at Highway 71 on the 29th Avenue. Talked with, Randy Hamler, he and Greg were, supposed to be hearing from Aldott, that has not happened yet. So as we all know with that items, things just get carried over, so Avenue and Hall Avenue on May 30th for the Street Fest, and August 29th for the Back to School Bash from 12 to 1. This comes to us from Councilors Wolverton and Higginbotham, the West Homewood Neighborhood Association, and Rusty Hollow.
Yes, so this item is, it's been on the agenda in years past, dates are roughly the same. Timeline wise, they're asking to close that one section of road in front of the business park between 12 and 11 to accommodate for setup and takedown. So the event itself will run in between those hours, not that full time.
Do you know if they have filled out the public forms through the police department yet?
I am not positive.
I mean, I know we've got some time because we're looking at the end of May and the longest, but. Yeah.
It's two different parties, so
Yeah.
I can reach out to them, to both of them. actually.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we would need to be able to, I mean, we can certainly send the full council decision on that, if that's the way you want to go.
That sounds good.
Okay, motion by Mr. Wolverton, second by Mr. James. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed by the same sign. All right, that's 4-0. 10:03:20, request for consideration of crosswalk improvements at Oxmoor and Peerless Avenue and Virginia Drive. Councilors Gwaltney and Haynes.
Yes, we were contacted last week by parents, and notified us that if you recall, Virginia turns into a one-way, flashing lights and they fail. And thank you to Randy and our traffic department, they notified them they were there. Repaired the light, he was also ordered some new equipment, to control off, handle different timing when the crosswalk is activated and how to control the lights. But we wanted to talk a little more than with that conversation, school board about maybe adding cost guard, et cetera. But we can carry this over. I put the parents that were concerned, letting them know that school's out here down here.
Yeah. And I will say, hold on one second. Yeah. I will say that Randy did, he said we installed, new crosswalk signs, as Mr. James, said, and that he'd be working on the other stuff as well as soon as it comes in. So.
They're just, with the new homes that have been built, a lot for kids, the volume of children crossing there is not honestly probably more than all of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based off of what you just said there, and I know Walter and I had some conversations, because we're looking at crossing over from Ward 1 into Ward 3 there, so all four of us got a phone call that morning. And, again, before, I think, first period started, or second period started, these, the crosswalks and everything were handled, the lights were out, we had a police officer there. They're still there as far as I know, in the mornings now, not right now, but, I mean, they were incredibly responsive, and we greatly appreciate everybody that did that. But, hold on, I think Mr. Johnson first, and then Mr. Goldman.
Yeah, and my comment is, I don't know, almost comical, but I've gotten several calls from residents who are upset that we're enforcing that you can't go into Virginia during school time. People that live on the street, they're getting tickets, they're not happy. I don't know if there's a solution to the issue, either maybe go down one more block and turn right and come around there. But if we can look at any kind of creative solution to let these people back into their properties, because they don't want to get in the middle of school traffic to come back. So.
Well, surely though, if they're going to a resident, the police, I've always understood it that it's closed, it's one way except for residents.
That is not the way the law is written.
Well,
So
we probably should look at that.
there's no exception to it. I mean, and they've shown, hey, I live right here, and they're like, well, great, I'm back for you. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there that I've gotten a few calls, and they'd like for us to find a way. There might be a way. Yes. Hello,
Mr. Chairman. This
Yes.
is Peter. This is Peter. I was going to make a suggestion. Maybe we can issue some special permits that the owners can put in their windows or something, to exempt them somehow from that problem.
Mr. Kendrick, is that?
You can change the ordinance. I'm not sure we have a residential permit.
So we would need to amend the ordinance to allow, okay. Did you hear that, Peter?
I did.
Okay. Okay, so maybe that's something we look at.
Yeah, I think.
Because, you know, it is reasonable.
Oh,
to-
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay.
That was all. Okay, back to you.
I wanted to add that while we're looking at this intersection, like the homes that are going back, posts are there. One would think there should be a push button on those poles, but the pole's there, and they look oddly out of place. It might have been there one time and removed or damaged and just not replaced, but there's enough people that come across from the parking lot to the shopping centers, especially the high-rise place, like big food there, something renovating in the corner, people walking around, you know, across to I feel like it's a reasonable ask to also look at getting a push button crosswalk there as well.
Okay. Well, that can certainly be added if need be. We'll have to have, I guess, Randy take a look at that. Have you mentioned that to him, Mr. Gwaltney? Have you mentioned that to Randy?
Yeah.
Has he? Okay, okay, all right. Well, I guess we'll just carry this over if we're gonna, well, it's got Oxmoor Peerless within the set. I mean, this is, yeah, we'll just carry it over without objection. So we'll carry over 100320, and that's it. All right, we're moving to special issues.
Here.
Here.
Okay, I like Brett, I'm gonna try to get us back in time. First thing I need is a motion to approve the minutes, as presented by Ms. Walter.
So moved.
All right, motion by Mr. Higginbotham, second by Mr. McCluskey. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, those minutes are approved. All right, the first item is 171015. Mike and I have been, I'm going to carry this over, but Mike and I have been communicating with Emily and also representatives at Mayfield. Mayfield did send their report as right, and we sent those, forwarded those on. Mike did ask because the lawyer for Buffalo Rock did tell us that their third-party person who installed their treatment plant did advise them to stop using their carbon beds, to which Mike asked them why, and we didn't really get a real good. Yes, and they never responded back. So Mike has re-engaged our consultant that we had engaged previously, and we are working through that. So just know that that is being discussed. So I'm going to carry that over. 181020. Request to consider the ability and importance of the Homewood Cable Commission for Mr. McCluskey. We're going to carry that one over again.
Well, actually, I wasn't sure if her,
well, we haven't even discussed it. I mean, that's the item, but we haven't even discussed it yet. And they were both Patrick and Walter weren't y'all still planning on speaking to the representatives on the commission?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, at this point, we probably need to move forward with it, and then, I mean, I've called a couple of them, but I haven't gotten on. Yeah, I haven't gotten on. Well, it's pending the motion here, I think. I mean,
Right, which Patrick just asked me to call it, so we haven't actually taken the action yet to do that.
That's okay. Well, no, we will make sure that we've discussed it with everybody on the commission first, just to see what their opinions are and everything. So if you can carry it over one more time,
Got it.
I promise.
Done.
It's my fault, I'll take care of it.
All right, 171015 170220, request to address trash pickup concerns and requirements for downtown business properties from Mr. Hansis and Mr. Wright. We talked about this in our last committee meeting.
I'm still working, waiting on one more.
Okay, all right, so, you want me to carry that over until
Yes.
after you talk to them? Okay, all right, so we're gonna carry that one over.
Yeah, and
Go ahead, Peter.
yeah, and Berkeley, will you send that to me when you get? Yeah, Berkeley, we just tell Berkeley to send that material to me when he gets it.
Yes, he said yes.
Did y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, they're good. All right, new business, 110320, request for consideration to place video streaming technology in the council committee room for the purpose of recording and broadcasting committee meetings, like for a night such as this, for instance. Something like that. Mr. Higginbotham, do you want to discuss?
Thank you, Madam. I did ask, city contractor to provide an estimate to think about what the best way to handle it would be. In terms of background, I'm almost certain we actually discussed this my first year on the council, the idea of doing this, and then we just never really went anywhere. Yeah. I just think it'd be valuable for citizens to be able to see what's going on there. Let me be clear about one thing about the way I wrote this item. I wrote this item after my initial conversation with Brian. I have no dog in the fight as to whether it's video like what we're doing with the council right now or live streaming. Frankly, video is just fine with me. If I put the flash, because I'm not saying one or the other.
Right.
But ask him what technology we need to be able to share this with the public online, and so you can see the cost quote here. The annual operating cost would be about $7,800. It would be $4,000 upfront cost to install the equipment to be able to capture the committee meetings based on an average committee meeting load, which we do fluctuate some, so sometimes we don't have. But in any event, and as the chair has already alluded, I think the practice is a good example of the time when it might have been to our advantage to have had this in place. Of somebody had an item that they were interested in seeing discussion on, they wouldn't have felt necessary to come to the meeting when they're not here. A reason why they should not be here. In this case, on health issues, but just in general, if there are conflicts and people just want to be able to review what the conversation is. To me, the premise is the same as the council meeting. If we're videoing the council meetings and we're sharing that with the public, it's already established that we think that they have some sort of compelling interest in seeing what we're doing and being able to follow that. And I just think sitting at committee meetings just makes sense, especially since we all know that most of the work goes on committee meetings anyway. What you see at council meetings, with the exception, of course, of public hearings, which can take 4 days. Most of the items don't take very long. We've really already discussed them and come to some conclusions in our own minds. So that's why I brought this proposal forward, and I'm willing to have any discussion or any comments anybody has about it. Obviously, we have to finance the budget and money for it.
Right, and I will say, like, I agree with you, Mike. I definitely think we need to do that. We need to improve a lot of technological items over in the committee room. But I'm wondering if this is probably at this point falling under the non-essential spending that we're currently being asked. I mean, we can certainly send it to finance.
And I'm in American participation of the technology, but have that plus 25
Okay.
then we get a percentage of
Okay.
so it's that.
Okay. Right. Right. So I guess the proper motion would be to move forward with sending this to finance so that we can discuss it in terms of funding. Correct? Or do you have a question?
Well, no, I was going to say, I mean, is it something that is critical right now, or can we send it to put it in the budget for next year? Because we've got to install them and everything, and I mean, I don't know if I'm just thinking we can send it to.
What do we have in the budget right now?
Do you know what that technology fund is?
You know, we have it.
How much time out do we take?
$83,000.
I may send it to them.
Okay. All right, I have a motion from Ms. Andrews to send this item to finance. Second from Mr. Higginbotham. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that would be.
Okay, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
I want to make sure it's clear so we don't even talk about this in finance. Is your recommendation to have the ability to create the video just like we do in council, and then he uploads it at the end of the session?
That's certainly what my.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's what we're getting. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, ma'am, can I just say something really quickly?
Hold on, Brian has something
Hold on.
to say.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. This will allow for, it would be one camera and it would allow for the recording. It won't have, because I've heard him say, it won't have the same production value. In other words, being able to put some things up on the screen and so forth, but you really didn't need that in committee meeting. Everything else is relatively the same. Part of what this was so that I could handle it remotely because I can't be there for every single committee meeting. And so this technology and the stuff that is there, that this is part of, was to be able to remotely be able to manage these.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Yes, we appreciate you for tonight and all the nights. All right. So again, we just voted on that. So that will be sent to finance for discussion about funding in our next meeting, and we are adjourned.
And Madam Chairman, Ms. Berry?
Yes.
Are
Yes,
y'all still
Peter.
there?
Yes.
Are y'all still there?
Yes.
We're here.
I was going to mention a couple of quick things while I got who's ever there. Just to understand, if y'all can hear me, that yes, we have our next scheduled meeting March 30th. Who knows what's going to happen between now and then, and we'll certainly be in touch. Given some of the communications I've already had with several of you, it seems common sense that we're going to go ahead and cancel the special meeting on the sidewalks for March 30. And just to follow up with my email to y'all earlier today about announcements and communications to the public going forward for the next, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever it's going to be. Just that we're going to send communications and utilize our website. We're going to communicate to JJ, Melody, and the mayor so we can have a single path for our communications. And certainly, if anybody has any problems or issues with that, everybody just, communicate, let us know. But that's going to be the path, because I'm sure many of you will hear from people and questions and things, and some of which may need to be posted. And so you guys can handle it that way in communicating with the mayor and Melody and JJ, and we'll just all try to keep on top of things for local things that come up that we need to share with the public through our website and through Brian's help. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear to everyone, and I guess that'll be a plan going forward, and I'll certainly let everyone know what in the world's going to happen with our March 30th meeting later, and we will go from there.
Okay, and Mr. Kendrick had some additions to the comments. He's been in touch with Alabama League, and so he had a few comments as well.
Okay, great.
You all aware that the governor filed a proclamation of restoration of motion on Friday. Yes, we can issue today. At the staff meeting, the mayor had a 3 o'clock report with raised the issue that we may have some reimbursement potential to FEMA for some of these costs. It's all kind of up in the air. There's also a legislative act before the Senate that might have some impact about our obligation to pay employees and reimbursement for leave. Those are all things that are kind of up in the air opinion. But there's one particular section that the mayor and I talked about after the staff meeting, and I drafted a proclamation by him declaring the state of emergency in the city that I think the suspension of that meeting.
Yeah.
Right. Technically, that's a decision to be made by the city council. But because you don't have a meeting plan, it's something that you would want to reaffirm at your committee meeting, the next council meeting. The reimbursement opportunity might be there and they might not, but we didn't want to miss the opportunity, so the mayor took a step ahead and proclaimed that subject to, I think that it is the authority of the governing body to make these determinations. It sets out that you can expend certain monies that will be involved in might be reimbursed for. Just want to give you that as a background. If you have any objection, share it with the mayor, because he's doing that to help the city. But if there's an objection to do that, technically the decision is the city council.
Okay. All right, any other,
Yeah, I think that at the next meeting, we probably need to have reapprove that.
so we can add that under new business, I guess. Okay. Okay, anything else, Peter?
No, that's it, Walter. Thank you. And Melody, if you'll go ahead and put the notice out about canceling our work session on the sidewalks. I really think that's it for now.
Yes, sir, I'll see something more personal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Everybody be safe, please.
Okay, bye-bye.